Hi, I'm Andy with EcoCha, and here we are with batch number 31 of the EcoCha Tea Club. And this month's batch is Light Roast Phoenix Village Oolong Tea. Phoenix Village is a historical tea growing area in Lugu Township in Nantou County, Taiwan, just above the renowned Dong Ding Mountain, where Dong Ding Oolong Tea is made. And the village on Dong Ding Mountain is Jiangya, and the next one up is Yonglong, and then the highest one up on that ridge above, just within several kilometers of Dong Ding Mountain, is Phoenix Village. And Phoenix Village, along with its neighboring village of Yonglong, are the most densely populated villages in Taiwan of traditional artisan tea makers, namely Dong Ding Oolong tea makers. This area has a long history of tea making, but it was significantly developed starting in the early 1970s, I guess, perhaps in the 60s. And the person who we procured this batch of tea from is our good friend's father, who has over 6 decades of tea making experience, and he supervised the outdoor withering and the indoor withering of this tea. It's a neighbor's crop of tea that he overlooked the initial stages of the processing. And when we visited him a month or so ago, he presented us with 3 spring tea batches of tea, and one was unroasted, one was lightly roasted, and one was in the fashion of Dong Ding Oolong. And I immediately was impressed by this light roast tea. The consistency of it, it just had such a nice, smooth, balanced character, full-bodied tea. Its appearance, from the leaves to the brewed tea to the brewed leaves, all indicated that it was well cultivated and well processed. And yeah, it was the winner of the 3 right away in my experience, and I inquired about it, and Grandpa Liu, as I referred to him, nodded and smiled, and he said, basically in agreement with my assessment of the 3 teas, and then continued to relate that he had participated in the making of the tea. And when he got a portion of that day's harvest, he began roasting it and roasted it once and just decided that it kind of hit the mark. It wasn't what he expected to do with the batch, but he really liked the flavor profile upon roasting it once, and I'm really glad he did personally, and I think you will be too. It's just, there's something about okay, let me back up for a second. Phoenix Village is my personal favorite place for procuring tea. They say it's the soil and the climate, a mid-elevation climate. It's about 700 to 800 meters, and it's renowned for producing high-quality, traditionally made oolong tea. And then on top of that, these leaves were allowed to mature more fully, not picked too immaturely, which gives them more substance, literally, in the composition of the leaf. And then when it's properly cured, particularly in the withering stages and the oxidation stages, that's the key to making a specialty oolong tea. And Mr. Liu is our favorite person overall in terms of a traditional tea artisan. He's known in his community for his skills, decades of producing fine quality tea. So we didn't expect actually to be able to procure tea from him, but when I asked him if he had some of this batch to share, he said yes, and I asked him how much, and it literally was just enough remaining to be able to share with the EcoCha Tea Club. So Phoenix Village, grown on a small family-owned farm, processed in a small family factory, advised by an 83-year-old tea artisan. Just all that in its in its background of making to us represents a lot. And then finally, of course, what initially impressed us, which was the flavor of this tea. Let's see what we get here. Prominent pastry notes in the aroma, but there's something savory there too. It's very sweet, but there's just, it's not nutmeg, it's not allspice, it's not cinnamon, but it's similar to all of those kind of flavors pop up in your mind in the experience of this aroma. Yeah, just a wonderful balance of maintaining enough freshness in the leaf. There is a vegetal base to it, but a sweet pastry character that is on top of that kind of deep, dark green vegetal base. And then the nose, when you breathe out after swallowing, there's just something savory about it. It's something like one of the more mild herbal savories like sage or something, but it's combined with sweetness and that deeper dark leaf flavor. Really nice. It's very broad in its character. It encompasses a lot, and it's simple. It's not one of those very complex explosion bouquets of a character of tea. It's mild and mellow and balanced, but with enough complexity to make it really interesting. Maintaining this level of freshness and just having a hint of toastiness, a kind of fresh baked pastry character to it from the roast is really pleasant. Yeah, it's quite a privilege to visit Mr. Liu every time, and this time to be able to procure a batch of tea that he participated in. It was a special moment that day, and we're really happy to be able to share it with you this month. Please let us know what you think about this tea. Leave your comments on our blog, and please like and share the video and subscribe to us. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next month.